Now the start live on YouTube. I'm sharing the link on your all chart.
Hello everyone and hello from Malaysia. Welcome to our program of Leadership and Talent Development webinar, AIMS Biotech Alumni Webinar Series. You have joined us on our webinar entitled Uncover the Secrets Ordinary to Extraordinary and second session on developing the resiliency during pandemic NLP and its applications in personal lives. We will begin the session shortly. Before moving on with our today's session, I would like to remind some of the housekeeping items. Please mute your microphones and only unmute when you are required to speak. Turn on your camera and look at your camera while speaking. Feel free to introduce yourself to all participants using chat. No cell phone call or interruption during the session. Just be ensured that all our webinar sessions will be recorded and uploaded on our YouTube channel for the viewing of everybody. At the end of the session, there will be an evaluation survey. Give your feedback through the evaluation survey. Each feedback is highly appreciated. Once again, welcome to our program of Leadership and Talent Development webinar. My name is Kanchana Aplasami, final year biotechnology student of AIMS University. If there is any issue with the audio or video, please let us know through the chat box. We will try our best to resolve the issue. Now, I would like to invite Dean of Faculty of Applied Sciences of AIMS University, Senior Professor M. Ravichandran, to deliver his opening remarks. Prof. Ravi, please.
Thank you, Ms. Kanchana. And at this outset, I would like to thank the organizing committee of AIMS Biotech Alumni Webinar Series, Dr. Suresh for coordinating the excellent webinar. And our thanks goes to our beloved alumni, Ms. Drona Devi. Actually, she has been very supportive and then very hand-picked, very selected talk has been given to us. And we're looking forward to see you once the COVID goes back. Let's pray that this new year will be very good and we will be able to hopefully meet everyone personally. So I would like to thank the speakers, Ms. Radhika Balakrishnan, who is all the way from India and she's sharing her expertise, very vibrant person. And the title is very interesting, Uncover the Secrets Ordinary to Extraordinary. Looking forward. And also I'd like to thank Dr. Harjit Sidhu and for his talk on resiliency during pandemic. I think that's also a very, very relevant topic. I think we really need to not only food, not only health, I think our mental health and emotional health and how we can survive this pandemic. And we have to pat ourselves. We have survived almost 1 year in this pandemic. We are thriving. Actually, we have a resiliency, but let's keep our brain intact and be humane and help each other in this new year. That's very important. Then I would like to thank all the organizing committee, Mr. Ayappa, Bunli, Smita, and Kanchana, and many of them who are here actually in the background. And I'm really amazed by the protocol they follow, how they follow the YouTube linking. And it's all done by students, you know. And they really follow with the protocol. And I don't want to take too much of time. I hope today's leadership and talent development talk will be useful and fruitful. And I also want to welcome, we have 100 participants from, they are supposed to be from Hindustan Arts College, Coimbatore. They also will be joining this. And we also share the link with our staff members in this campus. We have around 500 staff members in the campus of AIMS University. That you can see behind me is a huge campus. We are located in Bujang Valley of the Kedah. So they all are also joining, and our alumni, Bodley, also has a big network of people. He's also sharing with them and smiling at me. And let's keep smiling. I will pass over to the MC. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. Ravi. Now, I would like to invite Alumni Coordinator, Senior Associate Professor, Dr. Venkata Suresh Chini, to deliver his welcoming remarks. Dr. Suresh, please.
Thank you, Kanchana. A heartily welcome to everyone, all the participants, Dean, Faculty of Applied Sciences, Professor Ravichandran, speakers, Ms. Radhika and Dr. Hazrit, and all other students and staff from the AIMS University and the Hindustan College of Arts and Science, and participants from different countries also there. So a warm welcome to all of you for this webinar. So this webinar series we are conducting as part of AIMS to Alumni Association, Biotech Alumni Association webinar series. This is the third series, and we had the two series earlier. So we are our idea is to communicate our alumni and our present students and give something benefit to our student and the society. That is the motto we started this series with the help of Ms. Drona. She's very active and proud alumna for our biotechnology batch 4. She graduated, and about her, so many achievements, so many trainers. She's a trainee for so many things, and including the mental health, which is a very high need at this moment, and nutritional everything. And she achieved a lot. She's a trainer for training manager at Medini Group, and she's having she is a founder and CEO of her own Drona Wellness, and so on, so many. So thank you for coordinating with us and helping our alumni association to deliver this kind of webinars, and we will work together to have more webinar series like this, which will be useful and helpful to the society and our students. That is the main idea. So with this, I would like to welcome all of you. Thank you so much for participating this webinar. And also I would like to thank our organizing committee, Sumita, Kanchana, Vilashini, Boonli, Ayappa, and all. So thank you so much for coordinating and organizing this event successful. Thank you so much, and I welcome you all.
Thank you, Dr. Suresh. Now moving on with our session, I would like to invite our today program's moderator, Ms. Drona Devi, to introduce our first session speaker and begin the webinar. Ms. Drona, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Kanchana. Thank you, Prof. Ravi, and thank you, Dr. Suresh. I would just like to repeat what I said yesterday, that this is an awareness program. However, never underestimate the power of awareness. This is one of the first huge steps that anyone could take. And at the end of this webinar series, we hope that, my dear participants, I assure you that you will become more aware of your surroundings, and it starts from the self. So as a mental health practitioner, I mean, as a trainer itself, I would always start my session by asking, how are you all today? So you could chat on the box, you could reply if you're okay or not okay. And please remember that it's okay not to be okay. All right. So we are just with this new norm. I think mental health is also a new norm. Mental fitness is one of the most important thing during this pandemic era. And again, this is a free webinar. However, nothing comes free. So the best that you could do is pay, not in ringgit Malaysia or in rupees, but attention. Thank you. So let me introduce our first speaker for today, Ms. Radhika Balakrishnan, who's the founder of Revolve Labs, who's a purpose coach and career coach. She's a chartered accountant with over 15 years experience in both private sector and multinational banks. Her last designation in the banking career was director, Standard Chartered Bank. As a corporate banker, she was responsible for managing cross-functional teams, building strong client relationships with both mega cap and medium-sized corporate clients, running complex cross-border transactions, and delivering profitability. As a career coach, she brings in vast experience, industry knowledge, most importantly, her passion to help people, entrepreneurs, unleash their true potential, and enable them to grow. To aid her coaching, she has reskilled herself by undergoing a rigorous 150-hour training in psychological counseling and hold a diploma in counseling. She is also a trained purpose coach. Her other passion is music, in particular singing, where she has given many stage performances. You could also look out for her on YouTube channel. She enjoys being in nature and trekking. Few years back, she participated and completed one of the most difficult Oxfam Trail Walker, covering a distance of 100 kilometers. Last year, she took on yet another adventurous trek to the Everest Base Camp and completed it. She's also an aspiring author and a business doodler. So I welcome Miss Radhika. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Ames University, Professor Ravi, Professor Suresh, and my dear friend Drona. And I would really thank that I am being present here and for your attention. As Drona rightly said, that's the only thing we want right now. And please, there are a few rules. Please use the chat box very freely. Please use the reactions like thumbs up, clap, laugh, or celebrations that you see on your Zoom links. Please be free. Whatever questions you have, keep putting it on the chat box. If they are relevant at this point, I will take them. And if it is yet not resolved, you can ask at the end of the session. This is going to be an interactive session. I know it's Friday early morning, and how is the energy? How are you all feeling? Please give a thumbs up if you're all up and ready there. And it'll be great if you guys can come on video, because it's easier to communicate. Else, please use the chat box and the emojis. Okay, guys, are you all ready? Great. Quickly type down good, bad, ugly. Are you all ready? Amazing. Thank you so much. So today's session, I will ask you by asking a question. What kind of careers that you guys like to have? Quickly, anybody can unmute and answer. What type of careers do you wish to have? Rewarding career, yes. Kanchana, you may unmute and answer. I'm sorry, I'll catch Kanchana because she's on video. But that will help her also.
Definitely a
If
successful
anyone,
career.
yes. What else do you wish to have? A meaningful career, yes.
A
Anyone else?
career where we can give our service through.
Yes, thank you so much. Fantastic. So, have you all heard of this saying? The only way to do great work is to love what you do. Do you know who said it? Steve Jobs. So this generation's the one of the most inspiring person who walked this earth, and who has created a revolution in the IT industry, and to basically connect all of us together. If it was not for his small thought of connecting and many more like him, today we would not be having this platform to sit here and chat and understand each other. So this is what Steve Jobs said, and that's how we all wish to have, and we feel that this is probably a dream. Do you really think it is possible? I'm waiting to see the chat. Yes, amazing. But do you know how it happens? So we all said we want success, we want happiness. We want job satisfaction. We want to travel the world. Yes or no? We want money. We want name. We look for fame. We look for wealth. We look also to create and bring about change in the world. And of all the things, we want growth, where we are able to contribute and be valuable in whatever we do. So how does this come? I think Drona started with the session saying that awareness is very important. And we agree awareness is very important. But how do you combine awareness to build a career which is extraordinary for yourself? So anyone, you can answer? I would really be glad to know if it is very interactive, because I have a lot of questions for you, so that it is not a one way. So Boone, you would like to answer?
To connect the awareness to the career, from my perspective, is to take up a career can mean a lot of things to people, but to me, a career is doing something I like and I'm passionate about, and to bring in awareness is to take in lots of new knowledge and insight.
Thank you so much for that share, Boone. Kanchana, you would like to add something?
To bring in awareness into our career is it can work in a way that for the problem that's occurring around us, we can come up with a solution that can be applied through our career. So it's
Amazing.
like, yeah.
Amazing. But most important thing, guys, is to know who you are. You know, what are your true potentials that can be combined and integrated to the career that you choose. In school and colleges, we seek knowledge, and that is one aspect of our career. Post the domain knowledge, we are there as persons who have our own potential. We have our abilities, our strengths, our weaknesses. And then there is the third aspect of what is it that I am going to do with these two things. That is how you integrate yourself to create a career that is going to be meaningful to you, which is going to be rewarding to you, and which is also going to bring about the change that you think you should be having and you should be contributing to. Do you all agree? Are you with me? Thumbs up. Please use the reactions or chat box. Great. So today, in this very short session, I would like to take you very somewhat closer to the steps that are required. And believe me, it is not something that comes pretty random. Of course, a lot of people spend a lot of time in this world trying to figure it out, but it is not something that cannot be designed. I'll take a small example here. So what we understand is, when you know your strengths, when you know what values you stand for, what are your interests, your passion, and who you are as a personality, once you understand these things about yourself, and then you integrate it with what you want to do, that's how we call it as career designing. And that's how we call design your life as well, because a large part of our life we spend in the form of careers. It could be any form, any field. It's a field of action that is where we spend maximum time of in our life. So I would like to now take you through a small, story. Okay. I guess who all like stories here? Students? Anyone can unmute. Otherwise, I'll start calling out. Okay, two people raise their hand. Please unmute yourself, and you can. So I'll ask you a question. Does everybody know the story of Hare and the Tortoise? Amazing. So, Okay. Drona, can you explain quickly what is the story that we all have heard about the hare and the turtle?
It's about who thought that they would reach the end faster,
So
you know?
they,
Yeah,
yeah, they started a race.
yeah. And then the tortoise was very determined,
Yeah,
but it took slow and steady.
yeah. So Vilasini, you wanted to share?
Yes, it's a very famous story. Like everyone know
Yes,
that the rabbit is overconfident, but the tortoise is very determined and very calm
perfect.
and achieve the goal.
Yes. Thank you so much for that share, Drona and Vilasini. So we all know the story that the hare and the tortoise, or rather, they came for the race. The race started. The hare moved very fast, and after some time, he decided that the turtle is far behind, so he can take a nap, and he slept off. And then the turtle probably moved slowly and steadily, and then finally reached the finishing line. And the hare probably did not win the race. This is what we know. But now let me ask Kanchana as to if the same race happened again in the same manner, who do you think would have won this time?
The rabbit, because it will be aware that if it take nap, then the tortoise might actually win the race again.
Perfect. If I say the same race is done 10 times, what will happen?
The rabbit will win, but the tortoise will keep trying as well.
The tortoise will keep trying, but the rabbit will continue to win.
Yep.
You know why? Why is it that the rabbit will continue to win?
Because it tries to run more faster than the tortoise. The movement of the rabbit is more faster, and
Perfect.
also it's more determined, and it has that thought that it should win, and winning matters
Perfect.
the most for it. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Now I'll ask Boone the next question as to if suppose the race was turned around and the race was say in the water. Now who will win?
In that case, the tortoise will win the race.
Perfect. So what do we know from here is that a lot of times we keep running a race. So now if the turtle was in the land and has been failing the race for 10 times, how would the turtle feel? What would be the feeling of the person?
It will be discouraged, I guess, for the turtle. I mean, keep on
Perfect.
playing.
Perfect. The turtle would feel that he's good for nothing
Yeah.
and not really worth it to do anything. And do we notice people who are in this stage at many times in their career?
Yeah.
We do notice, it's not like they are not good, but it's just that they don't know which field they need to play. And this is exactly the reason why we need to understand what is the game and what is the field you are playing on. And this is the most critical aspect to find out. It's like asking a fish to fly when the strength of the fish is in water, asking the rabbit to swim when the strength of the rabbit, the ability and the potential of the rabbit is at its full speed when he is on land. This is exactly how it happens when we try to consider how to build our career. So we need to know what are our abilities. Can someone tell? Now I'll just break some myths here. So if you don't agree, you may raise your hand and share with me. I'm asking you, there are 4 mistakes people do when they make their career choices. Can please use the chat box and type out what do you think are the 4 mistakes that happen when people make their career choices? Perfect. Somebody said yes. Dr. Suresh says follow parent suggestion alone. Yes. Money. Yes. Keep it coming, guys. Yes, imitate others. Perfect. Peer group pressure. Yeah. Not upgrading themselves. Yes. Cool. So I'll just share. A lot of people feel that marks alone will take them and give them a best career in their lives. How many of you feel this is there's something they have seen, heard, and somewhat agree? Next is peer group influence, as somebody had already said. Somebody said parental and teachers influence. It's not bad. They may notice something that you're good at, or they may understand. But then what you understand is, again, need to know whether it is based on how much you score in a subject, whether is that the only determination factor for what you are good at. And most importantly, nowadays, these are things which I observe, market trends. People say that, this is the most happening job where you get the maximum money, so you should run after that job. That's like saying that every rabbit is running on the street, but I'm a turtle, I still need to run on the street and win the race. And that's where a lot of mistakes happen, which kind of leads to disappointment as they move ahead. And then you kind of get into a zone where you feel you're not good enough. So let's come to a secret number 1. So Drona said we will uncover certain secrets. So let's come. So there is an activity I will give you all. And I would request you to take a paper and a pen or a pencil and do this activity with your hand, not typing. So this is an activity. So please use your notepad as in a sheet of paper. And I would like you to ask how many of you are right hand oriented people. Okay, so use your right hand, and people who are left hand, which is a dominant one, please use your left hand. This is an activity where I would like you to, I'll give you 1 minute and you have to write down with your dominant hand how many ever sentences you can, and your time starts now. I hope it is visible to you all. Okay, it's 30 seconds. Quick, write fast. 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop. Please use the chat box and write how many sentences you could complete. 1, 2, 3. Oh, Geeta says 3. Fantastic. Vilasini 2, 1, 1. Just 1. Awesome. Great. Guys, I will, now let's repeat the same exercise once again. I will do the sharing. And now there is a twist. You will use your not so dominating hand, which is the other hand, which you didn't use earlier. And you get the same 1 minute. Yeah, and your timer starts now. Come on, everybody. You guys can do it. 30 seconds. Okay, 10 seconds. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop. Please use the chat box. Okay, how many words you wrote? Are these 2 words, 3 words, 10 words, 13 words? Amazing. Can you guys, oh, great. Awesome. Vilasini has managed to make both her hands very strong. Superb. Great. Thank you so much. So the purpose of this activity was to understand that when we use our strengths, we are able to do things more strong, more confident, more fast. There is efficiency, there is productivity, and there is also growth and achievement. Yes or no? And when we have used our not so dominant hand, or which is not our strength, when we keep focusing on something which is not our strength, we do struggle. And that doesn't mean do not improve upon where you lack, but that also does not mean only focus on where you lack. This is something which I have observed. People start their new year with great resolutions. The resolutions always say what I don't have. The resolutions always focus on how do I improve, how do I make better. But resolutions never speak that I am strong, say in writing, I am strong in reading, I am strong in playing sport. How can I be the best in that also? For example, I'll just can Vilasini just unmute and tell her New Year resolution if you have one? Just one. Everyone keeps one resolution definitely for the new year.
Just want to successfully finish my final year.
Okay, awesome. So that's the point. Do you agree that it happens that our focus is largely on what we don't have and where we lack, rather than our focus being on where our strengths actually lie? When we focus on our strengths, it comes fairly easily to us. And so we actually take it for granted. So we don't work to improve it further. But we focus on it, we gain a lot of confidence. Our productivity is good. We get the result we want. And our self-esteem is also quite high. This is the first secret, guys. Make your choices based on your strengths. What are your key strengths? You will need to understand, identify it, and grow. The question you will ask as students is, how do I know my strength? Do you want to know? How do you know your strengths? We have enough and more psychometric assessments and tests, but they have limitations in their own self. We can use them as guides. But to really find what your strength is, I am giving you a small tool, a small activity, which we may be short of time to do it in full-fledged, but you can get a glimpse of how to take it forward, and then you can do it. Take a minute and write down all the activities and tasks you do every day. Right from waking up to sleeping, different activities, like you attend college, you do this class, you may be good, you may like to do singing, music, sports, swimming, badminton, table tennis, anything and everything that you do, including watching TV, being on social media, browsing through various YouTube channels. You can just take 30 seconds and write down all the activities that you do. Once you have listed down the activities, ask against each activity, how do you feel? When you wake up in the morning, if you think about that activity, do you feel energized or do you feel very dull and drained? What is my initial response? Does it make me feel happy, excited, or bored and irritated? I'm sure everyone in their everyday life have activities which are exciting and which are not so exciting. And second thing, when you're performing an activity, for example, say you're reading a particular text, maybe reading doesn't come naturally to many people. It is straining, but when you get into it, you start liking to be in that zone. So that is what I'm saying. When you're into the activity, how do you feel? You feel engrossed, you feel in the flow, or do you not feel like, and you feel like it's a forced activity you're doing? How easily it comes to you? Some people actually talk very easily. They don't have problem networking with people. Some people struggle in that zone. So it is not like one is good or one is bad. It's just that you know that you're good at this and you're good at something else. That is important to know. And that you will know from how you feel towards that activity. And most important thing is when I think about it, how excited I feel. These are the ways you will know whether a particular activity is your strength or is not so much of your strength. It helps you pinpoint, say that, yes, I enjoy this activity. More importantly, when you are in the flow, where you forget your time, where you forget the space, where you forget everything around you and you're totally engrossed, that's one thing you have to note and keep track of it, because somewhere down the line, you will notice that there you will start growing in that area. Are you all with me?
Yes.
Yes, great. Now, so this is how we create careers. When our passion and career come together, we are going to create a beautiful life that we look forward for ourselves. It does not happen by chance. It happens by being conscious. It happens by being aware. It happens by co-creating, and it happens by trying and understanding and spending time with yourself. Till date, in school, college, there is syllabus. People follow syllabus. People give you advice. People tell you various things. But now, from here on, life is an open sea. You will need to go, try, test, learn, understand, and it starts from knowing yourself, more about yourself. Let's jump to secret number 2. Quick activity. List down 10 things you love to do and you don't mind doing it free. For example, Kanchana, you would like to share 2 activities that you think you can do it for free? You don't mind. Anybody will call you and you are ready to do it.
I think doing MC work.
Amazing. Superb. You should write that down. Vilasini?
I love to do cooking, decorations.
Amazing. Superb. Teach cooking. Geeta says teach cooking. Amazing. So list down. Yeah. Now, once you list down, ask yourself, what are the activities out of these 10 that I can be paid for? For example, cooking. Can you be paid for your cooking? If yes, can you build on it? Yes. That is one aspect. So, like that, you will be able to identify many aspects of yourself which can be converted into a profession or a career of your choice. where you are totally involved and where you are totally into it. Today we see a lot of people on social media uh, or in their lives. Can you name one inspirational person that you admire? Geeta, you would like to share?
Oh, yeah, sure. I mean, there's now a lot of YouTube's cookings, but while you're subscribing, of course, you'll be getting the paid. And
Hmm.
besides that, if you see some Asian food channels, there's a lot of chefs. Like they have some kind of what we say programs and everything. But actually, as a like a career woman, as a mother, it's a kind of a passion in cooking for me. So I love to do it, but the time is not really supportive. And
Sure. Thank you. Thank you so much, Geeta. Vilasini, can you share one person who is an inspiring, person who is inspirational for you, whom you admire a lot?
Basically, maybe for cooking, my mom. She's my inspiration.
Okay, amazing. So, Boon, would you like to share your the person who you admire or who is inspiring to you?
For me, Barack Obama, because I love his
Super.
love towards.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you so much, Boon. Even I kind of follow Barack Obama very closely. He's quite an inspiration, despite all challenges he kind of raises to the occasion. So, what I wanted to tell you here is once you identify what your areas are, so these are all small steps which will help you take that step forward to change, because a lot of people read books, they have a lot of knowledge, but then the conversion of how to convert what your knowledge is into a passion area, into a product which is kind of working, and ultimately we all also want that it is creating impact. At the same time, you also earn money and wealth in your career, because 90% of your life is spent on this. You earn resources, you give resources. That's how it works. Second step is to increase your awareness whether you really want to do it or not. How do you know? Because there are a lot of dreams and aspirations which come and go, and you don't know whether it is something you should run after or you don't run after. You must try and do side hustles or prototype your skill, which means take up voluntary services, take up responsibilities. Colleges offer multiple responsibilities for students to be taken up. Put yourself forward and try and see in those areas which are also your interest areas whether you are really going ahead in that. What are the things you like and you do not like about it? Because only when you experience, you really know whether it is meant for you or not. Do freelancing. People who are very good with writing, go out. Now it is very simple. It's not like the old days where you had to keep writing letters or write to magazines and ask them to go and publish. It's all available free. You just start posting things, create your own blog, create your vlog sites. Content creation is something the current youth is amazingly good at. Go and do it and try. See how is the response. Learn from that experience, and then start understanding more about yourself, what you like, again what you don't like. Start integrating that with the knowledge domain you have already gained. For example, a lot of you here are medical students. Can medical students who is also involved, likes to write content, can they kind of create something joining with the domain knowledge they have? And can you kind of create a product which is helpful to people out there? So this is how net interning and volunteering options help you. Self-awareness again does not stop you from making mistakes, but it allows you to learn from them. This is the most important thing. You will fail, but that is failure is not a failure, it's a learning. Because unfortunately, exams tell us that you failed, so you have to repeat your exams. But in life, if you fail, you actually learn from there and you actually move to the next level. So iPhone never came with the best 12 11 Pro or 12 in its first go. It made multiple versions of itself to reach where it has reached. So we also come in multiple versions. The version 1 is not the one way the version 2 is, and the version 2 is not the way the version 3 is. So we keep evolving and we keep growing, and that's the process, and it's not a definition. Now let me take you to the third step of this. Is a very, very interesting exercise, and I really request all of you to participate, because this is one of the ways, after knowing what my strength is, after identifying how do I integrate my interest areas with what I want to do, I still need to know why sometimes things don't work. So the key thing is to know, who am I? Where do I stand? So this is a grid where on the x-axis you will see the commitment levels, and on the y-axis you will see the level of curiosity. Can someone unmute and tell me what do you mean by curiosity? Anybody? You want to share, Vilasini?
Maybe things that we eagerly want to know. That's the thing.
Perfect.
Curiosity.
Yes, thank you so much. So curiosity, we know, is something where we are eager to learn. And Kanchana says how interested the person is to know about something. Perfect. So let me ask you all to observe this chart, and I'll explain to you what each quadrant means. So at some level, there are people who have very high curiosity and low commitment. Now, what does it mean? High curiosity, you will find people who will come up to you and say they have a lot of ideas. They read a lot, they see YouTube's channels and see that, oh my God, this person has really come up with a brilliant idea, and it is something worth trying. Be sometimes and they just are bubbling with energy and always coming with lots and lots of ideas. But when it comes to doing it, you would not see them actually taking actions on those ideas. You will meet them after 2 months and ask them, oh, you had told me about one idea, what happened to that? How are you progressing? They say, oh, that idea was like, okay, it's down the drain now I have another idea which is even better than that one. So they keep ideating after ideating and ideating, but they don't do anything. Then the next person is somebody who has very low curiosity, who's not really very eager to know about many things, and also low on commitment. Internally, they will know that they will just keep borrowing some ideas here and there and keep talking about it to be present in the group, not really doing anything. Then you have people who have low curiosity, meaning they are not very eager to learn by themselves. But when something is told to them, they are very highly committed, meaning they actually go and do things based on what is being told to them. But they may not go out and learn by themselves. Then you have people who have very high curiosity and who have very high commitment levels. Not only they ideate, not only they come up with a lot of interesting thoughts, but they also take actions and do it. They keep on trying. Please raise your hand and tell me if you have observed all this kind of people. Thank you, Boon. Now question is to understand where you are among these 4 quadrants, which you can map it for yourself. Whether are you a high curiosity with a low commitment person, whether you are a low curiosity, low commitment, whether you have low curiosity, high commitment, or whether you are high curiosity and high commitment. Based on how you have lived your life so far, you will know where you stand in these 4 grids. You just need to take a step back and think, how do you perform? Now, I'll tell you, people who have high curiosity and low commitment are people who are called dreamers. They actually love to see the, I'm nothing wrong or right about it. It's just to know where you are, because where you are is the first step to start your journey from. If I know I'm in India, Mumbai, then if I have to come to KL, I know I'm starting from Mumbai. I won't start from Calcutta. So these four grids help you to understand where you are right now in your life and where you would like to go. Low curiosity, low commitment people are generally like pretenders. They just pretend to know everything, but they neither will know enough nor will they do enough. People who have low curiosity and high commitment are executors. Basically, you will find they will do all their work very cleanly, neatly, and then they will be always ready with what they has to be done. And people who are high curiosity, high commitment are those who create and who are the leaders. And you will find a very small number of people at any point of time who are in this zone. Many people will be executors and equal number of people who will be dreamers, and large part will be in this zone. You know where you are and you know where things happen. To make it happen, you need to be in this zone. Whether you're here, you need to start pushing yourself to this zone. Are you all with me? Is it making sense? So this is exactly what I do in my courses. So we help people create, understand their, and make them more self-aware. Along with that, create enough and more assignments, which also help them being more accountable to yourself. Being accountable also means to be responsible for your own actions and understanding why some things are happening and why some things are not happening. So the master's program that I conduct helps students do their self discovery, help them create their new identity, align their goals. We help them make their smart goals based on their core values, help you break the boundaries which are limiting yourself in your growth, and increase your confidence so that you can take the leap forward in your life. The old way of working. Do you all agree? How many of you have heard this? Work very hard, be very determined, and you will get what you want. A new way of working is smart work, but with increasing your own self awareness. This is how it helps. And we just went through a whole process, though, albeit I have only 45 minutes. So, this is, I wanted to just briefly touch base with you and explain how the whole process can actually work. And if you have any doubts or clarifications, you can get in touch with me. These are my contact details. I'm also available on LinkedIn and Instagram. And if you have any queries, I'm open to taking your queries right away.
Any questions?
Kanchana?
No questions, miss.
Okay, then share a point which you resonated the most in this session.
That we have to work or choose our career based on our own passion, not running behind something which we don't find our passion in it.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Boon, would you like to share your thoughts?
All right. And personally, I like the sentence that mentioned by Miss just now, which is the life is an open sea, which is, it is true. We just have to swim somehow. We have to find our passion. We have to find our position, and we have to find our strength. Without trial and error, we wouldn't know so on and so forth. You don't know whether you like reading or not if you are not if you are not reading it. So in this life, we have to try more and venture ourselves into more a multidisciplinary field, then only we know what are we, and then which position are we.
Perfect. Thank you so much. That was really, really very nice to know about that, Boon. And as you rightly said, interdisciplinary skills are the most required skills. And believe me, despite I be coming from a finance background, and I have learned, as a domain knowledge in finance, being a chartered accountant. When I started working in the bank, I had to also learn a lot about how industries work, how manufacturing happens, how the production cycle happens, how the chemicals interact with each other to create a product, and to read a lot more. I may not have to do it, but I have to know, because that was also an integral part of how the finances work, because it is all interconnected in life. So if I need to talk to a client who is in biotech, I have to read a lot about what biotechnology is all about and understand how the finances in biotechnology actually happen. If I don't do that, then just talking the numbers have no meaning. I need to know how the sales numbers come from. Where does it come from? Why does it come from? So these are important. So during work life is when I understood the real benefit of interdisciplinary skills. And when you are starting your career, these are all the areas where you have to spend time and keep skilling yourself, because the more you keep doing, the more you start enjoying, and also the newer you starts revealing to yourself. Things which you thought was not you start becoming very, very relevant for you, and you start growing and start flourishing. It's like a tree. The tree keeps giving different branches. It never stops, but ultimately it is all part of the same tree. So you are, each one of you here is one tree who is out there to create an impact, who is out there to create leaders, who is out there to make things happen. And today in our world, we need youngsters like you, who I see tomorrow, who are some of you as the future leaders of this country. And I hope that we have interaction with you guys at that point of time also. Any more questions? Otherwise, I will hand it over to Drona.
I have one question, Ms. Radhika.
Sure.
Thank you very much for thought-provoking speech and talk. I have one question. As a chartered accountant, this is very well paid and one of the busiest job, right, in throughout the world, and
Yes.
especially in India. So, what makes you to come to this field, venture in this field? Is it your passion, or maybe you want to know about it?
So I'll quickly share my transition journey. So I have worked in the banking industry for more than 15 years. And during the process, I used to observe that there are many skills that I already possess and which I really enjoy using them. And in the process, I understood I had to interact with a lot of customers, lot of clients, lot of business development had to happen, making presentations to board, making interactions with senior management at different levels. But every time there were a couple of things which used to keep prominently coming back to me. One was, there is everything, but still sometimes you find happiness, but you don't find success. Sometimes you find success, but you don't find happiness in that. So it was a question which kept prodding into me. And even I felt like that at some different stages in my life, that when I was very passionate, I probably didn't get money. When I was getting money, felt I was not very happy in the job. So how do you integrate all these things? Is it really possible? There are people who actually do it in this world, who are able to live a happy life, yet a successful life. How do I make it happen? So that was one question. Second was, I observed in myself that I have a natural tendency towards understanding human behavior, understanding psychology, understanding philosophies, and putting them into practice. It came very naturally to me, and I was very keen that I should explore. And the last important thing is, when I find my path, I want to share that experience with everyone and help everyone find their purpose and path in their life. And this is how my transition happened. And today, uh, this is exactly a very similar situation many of us will face, where we may not continue in the same career for a very long period of time. You may continue it up to a stage, and then you will find that aha moment where you want to grow into a different and offshoot yourself into a different branch. So that's a little bit about how my journey has panned out.
Thank you, Ms. Radhika.
Thank you so much.
Okay. So thank you so much again, Ms. Radhika. So I hope that it might spark something for your personal growth, dear participants. So over to you, Kanchana.
Thank you, Miss Jonah. It was an amazing session from Miss Radhika, and I hope everyone would have had provoking thoughts as well as a better self-realization of what they should do now. So from there, we would like to thank all the participants for joining us on our first session, and we would like to hear feedback from all the participants by scanning the QR code that's shown in the screen right now. You can either scan the QR code or go to the link given. The link will also be provided in the chat box. Upon completion of the evaluation survey, you will receive a participation certificate. I will keep this screen running for 1 more minute in order for everyone to scan the QR code. We will continue with our second session in a short while. Thank you. I hope everyone would have scanned the QR code by now. We will move on with our second session. I would like to invite Ms. Drona to invite our second speaker and begin the session. Ms. Drona, please.
Okay. Thank you, Kanchana. Thank you again. So I would just like to briefly introduce our second speaker for today, Dr. Harjit Sindhu. Welcome. He's a versatile and competent trainer consultant for the past 18 years. So if you could all do a math from Miss Madhi yesterday, 18 years, Joel 16, and Miss Radhika 18, and now Dr. Harjit 18 years again. So you could see how many years of experience you have gained throughout this awareness program. So he's actually a subject matter expert in neuro-linguistic programming, NLP, emotional and spiritual intelligence, hypnotherapy, mindset and motivation, as well as innovation and lateral thinking. I remember him because he likes using this word mumbo jumbo. So he looks like a magician to me. And his signature programs are BMW. No, it's not a car, it's body mind wiring, and other successful programs transforming individuals as well as producing long-term effect on them. So I think that's the key word. So he's the being a graduate of Tony Robbins, world's #1 success coach. He's very famous with his fire walker, and Dr. Harjit has conducted a lot of glass walking programs. He's a certified NLP trainer with the American Union of NLP and International Society of Neurosemantics USA, as well as a certified hypnotherapist. So his programs has been conducted internationally from Malaysia to Bangladesh to Cambodia, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Singapore, Brunei, Thailand, Indonesia, Vietnam, and India. So I think now it's online. So over to you, Dr. Harjit. The floor is yours.
Okay, testing the mic. Drona, can you hear me loud and clear?
Yes.
Fantastic. Okay, good morning, everyone. Um, Thank you so much for the lovely introduction of myself. So I will not waste time telling more about myself and all that. Radhika, thank you so much for laying the platform today about the perspective of self-awareness and all that, because that's where we're going to delve a bit more deeper. I'm truly excited for today. Just to get the feel, Drona, how much time do we have for my session?
Dr. Suresh, how much time do we have?
Around 30 or 40 minutes. Okay.
Okay, I was hoping you were going to tell me 2 hours or 3 hours.
Maybe in another day.
Okay, no problem. Just kidding, guys. I love to kid around and all that, you know. So, guys, we got about 40 minutes or 45 minutes. Let's rock and roll and see what can be maximized from this particular time. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to share with you immediately the techniques of the topic that we're going to cover today. Now, if you notice, the topic is actually is twofold. One is about how to maintain resiliency, and the other part is actually NLP applications in our daily life. All right. So, guys, please make the chat box busy. Don't let it stagnant. Please start chatting. I'll be able to look at your chat box and all that also. Please share your inputs, whatever. As we go along, I'll also be looking at the chat box. Feel free to post any questions. All right. Okay, let's rock and roll. Let me just quickly share the screen. Okay, so what were you guys doing when it was first reported on the lockdown, especially last year? So how did you manage your emotions, adapting to all the changes? I know the first 3 weeks was quite fun, isn't it? The first 3 weeks or 1 month when you guys were locked down. So what you guys were feeling? Excited? Feel free, you can on your audio and all that, guys. What was the feeling that you had?
Anxious, nervous.
Anxious, nervous, fantastic. Furthermore, what else?
Shocking.
Shocking. Okay. Something new, something exciting. Wow, I'm going to be working from home, you know. Let's see whether I can really do something on my own. So the first 1 month, everybody went into the excitement mindset. After 1 month, the reality came in. Oh my goodness. Is this going to be what, 2 months, 3 months? And that's where the anxiety comes in. After anxiety, what came in? After your anxiety comes in and then you feel a bit depressed. And after depression, what happened? Aha. what's the thought process, guys? Feel free to share with me. Excitement, anxiety, depression, stressed. Were you guys stressed? Right. And then some people went towards the other extreme, which is, sorry to use the word, suicidal. That's the reality, isn't it? A lot of us actually went through that particular mindset, and we know not only in Malaysia, India, a lot of countries went to that particular mindset. So what we're going to do today is let's see what are the real techniques that we can apply in terms of building the resiliency, right? Okay, so nature has been doing it. Nature has been adapting to various changes. Now we, with all the so-called high-tech intelligence, we are suddenly cracking under this new norm. Some of us fantastic adapted to it. Some of us found it that it was really, really crazy adapting to the new changes. So what was your technique? Now, the key to actually your mindset, and I love the topic about mindset because we are exactly like a computer program. Whatever that you see in computers is a replica, only a small percentage replica of your human mind. That's all. Now, how would you like to program yourself? When you say program yourself, you're able to dictate what goes on into your mindset. Will you be interested in that or not? Just give me some shout out, some reaction in the room. Chat box. You can on your audio, no worries. Fantastic. Yes. Can see a lot of thumbs up there. Let me just cover very quickly about the so-called mindset and all that. You know, you have been reading about, we got a conscious mind, subconscious mind and all that. Now, subconscious mind is where the whole programming comes in. I'm not too interested in your conscious mind. Your conscious mind is the one that we are using to interact today. is very limited. Now, believe me, by 2 p.m. Malaysia time or 3 p.m. by Malaysia time, you'll forget everything that we discussed now. It's for sure, definitely, 100% you'll forget. But what is going to make you remember about our talk today, about our sharing today? It's going to be something that went into your subconscious mind. And you know what goes into the subconscious mind? Emotions, values, pictures, because subconscious mind love that, right? Positive affirmations. Now, if you notice subconscious mind, or rather our mind, it does not register negative commands. Have you noticed that? Have you noticed anywhere if you see any signboard, signages, when somebody tells you, or even as a child, when somebody tell you not to do something, but yet you're still doing it? Is it something wrong with us? Somebody tells you as a child, don't touch the cup. The cup is very hot. Yet, after the mom and dad goes away, your hand is trembling. Oh, I need to touch the cup. Is there something wrong with us? No. The whole problem is actually our so-called mindset do not register negative commands. What I mean by negative command is the negative word. For example, do not, don't. These are all negative affirmations, right? It is not registered inside. Okay. Now let's do a simple experiment, guys. Everybody on the platform, can you guys close your eyes? Just close your eyes, everybody. You don't have to look at the screen. No, don't worry, we won't do a meditation today. Just close your eyes. Right. Don't think of pink elephant. I just told you, don't think of pink elephant, right? What are you still thinking about it? Okay, you can open your eyes now. So you notice what happened to your mind? Curiosity. Yeah. So the phrase curiosity killed the cat is very true. Huh? So you notice the negative affirmation doesn't work. Back in Malaysia, we have the authorities putting up signages on the highways. Do not speed. Speeding kills. Now, do you think that works or not? You guys are all shaking your heads and all that. It doesn't work. Oh my goodness. You better give some feedback to your governments, man. It's not working. So why? The moment you see signage, for example, me myself, when I see a signage, oh, speeding kids, be careful of a dangerous road ahead. Oh, that's where I will test my driving skill to see whether, oh, am I, up to expectation or not. That's where people start doing more drifting. Amazing, isn't it? Right? So the authorities learn that the so-called negative words doesn't hit the mindset. So they start changing the words. Okay, share with me, guys. Any examples of positive signages, affirmations to make people comply with something? Try to think about it, guys. Feel free to type it out in the chat box. Anywhere. Or do we have smokers in the room? Okay. I'm not sure about the cigarette boxes in India. I've not seen them for a long time. But in Malaysia, they put some gruesome pictures on the tobacco boxes. Do we have that in India also, or other countries?
I think throughout the world, I guess.
Okay, fantastic. To scare you, right? Oh, don't smoke. All the affected liver kidneys and all that. Everything is put on the box. But it doesn't work. When you ask smokers, yeah, it's just some gruesome pictures. It doesn't really, apply to me. Why? Again, it's a negative picture. So back to the signage. In Malaysia, they realized when they change the wording, people comply. So for example, I'm just translating from Malay into English. Remember the loved one at home. So they put a signage. So when you remember the loved one at home, you tend to relate that with safety, and then you tend to slow down, right? But there's a certain percentage of people, when they think of the loved ones, they go faster. So those are the dangerous people, right? Criminal mindset. All right, guys. So how to program yourself? Do experiment later on tonight when you want to go to sleep. I know it's tomorrow is Saturday. You don't intend to wake up early, but just experiment with this command. When you go to sleep, send a command to yourself. Mention your name, right? Mention your name. For example, let's say I'm sending a command to myself. Harjit, wake up at 7 a.m. Send a command to your subconscious mind, all right? Now, there's a biological clock inside of you. It's going to comply with that command. Now, we are always receiving commands. You notice that? The media, the advertising industry knows this. You see, those people who are script writers, those people who actually prepare media or advertisement, they know how to penetrate the mindset. So they're actually sending you subtle commands into your minds. So if you notice, sometimes when you buy something, when you buy, let's say this particular cup, the one I'm holding, you might think it's a free will, that you bought it out of your free will, but you might have been influenced to buy the cup, right? So what I'm going to share with you is some techniques about how to program yourself. I'm not really crazy about artificial intelligence because for me, I believe you guys are the perfect intelligence. Human beings have been created perfect. Do you believe so? The most perfect brain is here. Yet somebody realized or somebody woke up one morning and said, hey, let's create an artificial intelligence to replicate us. My goodness. They built supercomputers and the programming is done by who? By humans. Isn't that ironic? Right? So what I'm trying to say is that yes, we do have our weaknesses, like how Radhika mentioned just now, self-awareness. We know our weakness, our challenges and all that, but we have a lot of potential harness inside of us that can be used to further our intelligence, whatever that we're having now. So the world of NLP is actually about techniques. Let's command our mind. Now, very quickly, I'm going to just do some reverse learning, reverse sharing. Now, in order to be stressed, in order to become depressed, what should you do? Feel free. Just type it out in the chat box, guys.
Communicate with people.
Communicate with people. What kind of people? Sorry.
Maybe your friends, family, or something.
Okay, read carefully the slide. What you should do to become stressed, not distressed. In other words, to become more depressed, more anxiety, and become more panic attack. So I'll take the same point. Communicate with negative people. Fantastic. Kanchana, think of failures. So think of more failures in your life. Think of all the negative things that's happening in your life now. The pandemic is going to kill you, all the negative. Go ahead, think about it. Okay, so then Radhika also mentioned, be in a group of depressed people. Okay, Yashoda, fantastic. Think about your future. Hopefully it's not that bleak, your future. Thinking about the past. Yes, everybody got some regrets about the past. Fantastic, Maram. Worst case scenario, what can happen? Oh my goodness. If anybody in my family gets it. Constantly worry. Yes. What else? What else you should do in order to become stressed? There's a few more things, guys. Just go deeper a bit. Overthinking of any problems. Fantastic. Work overloaded, yes, okay. Manashini, fantastic. When you're overloaded with work, it also stress you up and all that. So little bit of time management and also prioritization. When you can't finish a task on time. Okay, those are external things that is imposed on you. The work which is imposed on you. But now I'm talking about what we can do to ourselves to become more stressed. Fantastic. Radhika, another one. Feel bad about everything. Try to find negative thing out of everything that happened around you. Now, fantastic, overthinking. If you guys want to look at this syndrome, this is called let me type it out in the chat box. A broken tile syndrome or broken ceiling syndrome. Very simple. Let me just explain. Broken ceiling syndrome means, sometimes when you go to a particular government office or anybody's office and all that, while you're sitting there waiting for the person to come, you're sitting and all that, suddenly you realize on the ceiling, there's one particular tile or ceiling which is missing. And then what happens is you start thinking, what kind of office is this? It is so, run down, broken, and it's so inappropriate for me to be here. Rather than concentrating with all the good things around you, but you're concentrating on that one particular broken tile or broken ceiling. Now, that is a syndrome of a negative mindset. So they become so good into it, it develops a pattern into them. All right. Okay, what else? Give me one last point about how to become depressed, anxiety, or stressed. All the points that you guys mentioned just now is fantastic. Radhika also mentioned that be critical always. Be over analytical, be critical. Something good happened, then you tend to realize, no, it was probably luck. I don't really deserve that. I think it was a fluke shot lah that I managed to get it done and all that. Yeah, exactly. True. Fantastic. Okay, guys, if you jot down all the points that you mentioned about how to become more stress, anxiety, and all that, you have just written a fantastic book about positive thinking. You guys are so good to become depressed. Now you know how to become what? Positive, isn't it? So just don't do that. The reverse learning. But now at the back of your mind, I know what you're asking. You're asking, yes, I know now what to do, but how do I do it? That's the key point, isn't it? How do I avoid overthinking? How do I avoid going into negative mindset? Exactly. So we are more interested about the techniques, the how part. Let's go further quickly. Now, in the Western Hemisphere, the winter is going on now, December, January time. Depression rate is at the highest. Why? Because gloomy weather, gloomy weather, it actually tend to make you feel very depressed. So they have the syndrome called SAD, seasonal affective disorder. What are the symptoms of this SAD? Whatever is on the screen there. Okay. People, extreme cases is that they actually become more suicidal during this particular point of time. So you know what their therapy is? They develop a device called light therapy. Is the slide visible? Can you guys
Yes,
see the slide?
doctor. Yes,
Okay,
doctor.
fantastic.
Yes, it is.
They actually created a device with a light because during this winter season, you don't get much sunlight. So this actually to replicate the sunlight. The more light you see, the more positive you feel. So it's called a light therapy. Can you imagine? So I don't know, Drona, do we need this device in Malaysia? We have plenty of sunlight.
It depends. If nobody is going out, they are always locked in their house.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, even in India, plenty of sunlight certain days and all that, right? Okay, so guys, develop yourself mindset like a bamboo. Resiliency is actually like a bamboo. You are so strong in the ground, but feel free to actually go with the flow. Exactly. Okay. Yeah, some of your computer screens is giving you all this fantasy, but don't start sitting down in front of your computer screen and just, get those lights. Don't burn yourself. Okay, guys. Come, let's go into the techniques of self-motivation. Positive thinking, self-motivation, resiliency, those are just different name into the same thing. All right. Okay, this morning when you woke up, now one of the techniques that successful people use, the positive people use, is the power of questioning. The quality of your life depends on the question that you ask in your mindset. This morning, if you woke up with a negative question, however fantastic today's speaker is, you will still be in a negative mindset. But if this morning you woke up asking a positive question, even a lousy speaker also sharing with you, you will say it was so fantastic. Isn't it? So give me an example of a negative question. When people wake up in the morning, what kind of negative question in your mind? It's in the form of question. I give you an example. Is it going to be another day? Okay. Where are my slippers? Somebody's asking in the chat box. Yes, more severe negative question, guys. Oh my goodness, is it going to be the same like yesterday? Am I going to see the same customer? Am I going to look at the same boss today? What else? Any more negative question, guys? Are we still in pandemic? Give me more examples, guys. Negative question. When will this get over? Excellent. Or in the form of question, right? So now switch over the question into a positive question. Now give me some examples of positive question, guys. It should be in the form of question. Just type it out. Or you can watch it out also on your audio, guys. Those who are lazy to chat, just enable your mic. Fantastic, Drona. What am I learning today? Oh yeah, new day, new adventure. Full statement. Fantastic, Boon. What new thing can I learn today? What new thing can I explore today? Let's see what difference can I do today, isn't it? All right. So those people who are actually in a positive mindset, you realize they're actually asking positive questions. That is one of the tools to go into the positive mindset. All right. That's one thing. So the power of questions. Huh? Now we are all interpreters. Interpreters means whatever that happens around us, we interpret either positively or negatively. Okay. Yeah, fantastic, Maram. How to inspire others to make more productive. So that's also inspiring you. Whenever we say something, it actually creates a certain perception towards the reality, but it may not be the reality. So a simple test. You have seen a lot of perception pictures. Lah. Now, guys, just let me know the first thing that came to your mind. What did you see? Feel free, guys. Don't worry. Whatever that your eyes or your mind registered. A face, walking. Okay, somebody's walking there. A tree, a lady, nice. A face also. Okay, Fazla, good. Face, another face. Good. Anybody see a snake there? Face with opticals and a woman walking, lady walking, three buildings, building at the back, fantastic. Anybody can see a goat face? Anybody can see a snake? Okay, Drona can't see. Don't worry, there's nothing wrong with you. Sure. Okay. Now, how many of you can see an aeroplane? No. Okay, good. Because if you can see aeroplane, I'll be very worried. Fantastic. Some of the items I just cook up, like it wasn't there at all. Snake, goats, and all that, don't have. Now, different people register the same thing differently. We know that. That's the power of perception, isn't it? That is what we are talking about. We send command to our mindset every moment, every time. So one of the tests is just not the power of question. Another one is reframing. Okay. Now, Drona being a practitioner of NLP, she's the master in reframing. She knows this very well. Okay. She reframes herself every moment. And what is reframing actually is looking at a particular situation, a perspective from a different angle. If you can do that, that is the most powerful thing that you can do in a positive thinking. When you go to a psychiatrist, now the psychiatrist is not going to solve your problem. A psychiatrist or a therapist or a psychologist, what they do is they don't actually solve your problem. They just reframe your mind. They make you look at the same thing from a different perspective. That's their job. So after at the end of the therapy session and all that, you pay them. But the most of the work is done by you. You did the reframing. Funny, isn't it? All right. Now, changing the perspective about something. Okay, now I'll give you a scenario. Your car just got an accident. Somebody hit your car from behind. If you don't do reframing, you're going to come out from the car feeling what? So frustrated, agitated, angry, and all that. Oh, my goodness, why has it happened to me only? Why my car? You know? So, but Is there any way that we can change the same situation into a more positive? How can we reframe that? Feel free, guys, share with me. Because the more you are able to reframe, the more you are able to go into the positive mindset. Fantastic, Radhika. Thank God I'm alive. Thank God it was a small injury. I'm lucky I missed the accident in a second. Okay, maybe a big accident. Good. What else can you tell yourself? Now, reframing is what's going on in your mind. It's not about what you tell somebody, all right? I'm getting new changes every day. Wow. Okay. Hopefully I don't get accident every day. Finally, I can take my car to repair. Okay. Finally, I can take my car to repair and claim some insurance money. Blah, blah. Fantastic. Open. Sorry. One door closed. The other big door opens. Okay. Fong. Oh my goodness. Finally, a new car. Fong is looking for a new car every week, I think. Don't get yourself banged every day. Okay. Accident and all that. Okay. What else? Some people came out like they said, oh, thank goodness it was a car, not a lorry or the trailer. Thank goodness I'm alone today. Thank goodness my family is not with me today. Those who are single, when you walk out, you see a very pretty lady, the one driving behind that hit you, or a very handsome guy. You say, wow, thank God it's the handsome guy that hit me today. Or the, pretty girl. So opportunity to networking. So fantastic. The more you reframe, that's what the secret of positive thinking is, guys. All right. Another example of reframing. Two different person looking at the same thing from different angle. The more you're able to master the techniques of reframing, the better you become into switching your mindset from negative to positive. Okay, Ken? There. Some people complain, let's say in Malaysia now at the moment it's very raining season. Some people are saying, oh my goodness, what is Malaysia? So much of rain, rain, rain and all that. But somebody will just reframe and say, hey, without rain, there's no rainbow. Rainbow only comes after the rain, isn't it? Right? All motivation wordings, if you guys look at all the motivation or inspiring words, they are actually reframing you of your mindset. Example, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. It reframes you, right? It's telling you, it reframes you that, hey, the journey of 1,000 miles is not that difficult. It just started with a single step first. So somebody say, oh, wow, yeah. Okay. So every motivation wording is actually reframing, guys. Okay. Okay, one more thing. It's about our mindset. Our mindset is incapable of processing two information or two thoughts at the same time. It is actually the physical law of the universe. No two things can occupy the same space at the same time. Example. Wow, my famous cup today. This cup is very famous. This cup I'm holding, I'm going to put it on my table. This particular space on the table, can I occupy with another object? I'm not talking about putting another object on top of the cup, the same space that the cup is occupying. Cannot, right? Okay, I'm not going into quantum physics. Those who are proponents of quantum physics, they'll say, yes, it's possible. Let's leave quantum physics out of this. No two things can occupy the same space at the same time. Physical law of the universe. Same thing applies in our mindset. We cannot process two information, two thoughts at the same time. That's the reason, guys, be very careful when you're using your mobile phones while driving. You might be engrossed in a very emotional conversation, but your eyes is not sending the signal to your mind to brake on time in case somebody comes in front. Your eyes is looking, but your eyes is not seeing. It's two different things, right? Okay. For me, even a hands-free kit, when you put on the hands-free kit, it doesn't work also. Because when you're engrossed in a very emotional conversation, you cannot register anything else. All right. Okay. So how does it actually applies to positive mindset? Keep interrupting your pattern. Now remember what Ms. Radhika mentioned just now about self-awareness. The more you are aware about yourself, the more you know what are the thoughts playing in your mind at this moment now, the more you are in charge, isn't it? Correct? At this point of time now itself, just be aware of where are your thoughts. Are your thoughts in this particular thought, or are your thoughts thinking about what am I going to have for lunch shortly? Or are your thoughts going to be, hey, it's Friday, where am I going to, or probably it's lockdown, you can't go anywhere. Huh? What am I going to do at home? Can I do a virtual party or something? Okay. But is your thought here at this moment? Just being aware of that is good enough, right? Once you're aware of it, you keep interrupting your pattern. Now, this technique is called pattern interrupt. Pattern interrupt is the more you know that you're going to the negative mindset, the more you're able to interrupt the pattern and switch over. Now, how many of y'all have got OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder? Don't worry, please admit it. Everybody has it. Aha. So Boon said just a bit. He's trying to tone down, huh? Feel free, guys. Kanchana, sure. No OCD. I mean,
No.
they label it like so negatively until you get scared to admit, right?
No, doctor, because in my house, my sister is an OCD. It's not me, so I can definitely say that.
Okay. Now, sometimes the small thing is actually OCD. I give you an example of my OCD. I got a few OCDs, you know. I used to have this OCD. When I walk, I used to count my steps. Now, can you imagine that? I'm counting my steps. I don't know why. As if I'm buying time. So when I'm walking, I'm counting not in ones or twos, in multiples of 5. Oh, my math must be good, huh? 5, 10, 15, 20, and all that. But the moment I reach 100, I start back my multiplication while walking. On top of that, when I'm walking next to the shop lot, when I approach a new shop lot, you know, the new shop lot, I must actually walk with my right foot. I must start with the right foot. Now, can you imagine the difficulty that I face? People are looking at me, what this guy is doing? Is he a Michael Jackson or what? You know, I got to adjust my walking and all that. So it became truly a burden to me. People were looking at me like one kind, you know, and I was having difficulty to focus. When somebody is talking to me, difficulty to focus because I'm busy counting in my mind. So I realized I need to interrupt this pattern. So the moment I realize I'm counting, I interrupt by having a conversation with somebody or look at something else. I keep on interrupting. Now, the more I interrupted my pattern, the more it became a habit. The cycle is like this, huh? Continuous pattern develops habit. Continuous habit becomes your personality. So do something before it becomes your personality. So I keep on interrupting until it became a new habit. So now I'm no longer counting my steps. Just using pattern interrupt technique. Okay. So guys, don't worry if you have a OCD. Don't worry, you're very normal. Another OCD that I used to have, I think sometimes I still have it. When I watch a movie, if there is a subtitle, you know what happened to my fingers? I start typing. I don't know how many of y'all has that. Anybody have that OCD? Dr. Venkata, you're laughing at me today, yeah? Let me find out what's your OCD afterwards. We'll hypnotize you and try to dig all your fierce OCDs, yeah? Right? Okay, somebody mentioned in the chat box, what if OCD helps you in life? Fantastic. Okay, if it helps you in life, continue. But the problem, most of it actually burdens you, you know, it's like imprison you. So you know what happens to me? When I notice self-awareness again, the moment I notice, hey, my fingers are typing, pop, I need to be aware. I immediately pick up a cup or do something with my fingers. That's called pattern interrupt. So the more I interrupt the pattern, the more I establish a new pattern. And the more I establish a new pattern, it takes up a new habit. So you notice how we program our mind? These are real mind programming techniques which are used by a lot of successful people. Only thing today we are sharing because, you know, they don't want to share this secrets with you guys. Why? Because okay, you guys remain at your level. Let us become successful. Can guys, any question about pattern interrupt techniques and all that? We got reframing, pattern interrupts. Okay, let me just quickly. So fine, guys, share with me one final thing that you actually discovered about yourself from the pandemic, from the shutdown that you went through. Did you learn something about it? Or maybe about yourself? Feel free to just share with me in the chat box. And don't worry, don't feel shy. Some people, for example, one of my friends say, Harjit, one thing I learned about myself is the ability for me to keep quiet. Before that, the guy was very talkative, Suddenly, there was nobody around him to talk. He went sort of like introvert. Fantastic, Dr. Venkata. Online communication tools. Yes, we had no choice. We had to pivot into the new platform, isn't it? Like you guys were sharing earlier, we had to be exposed into the new platform. So you innovated while being surrounded with the walls. Fantastic. Oh, Radhika, you were infected with COVID, eh? Okay. How did you actually manage to, in terms of the mindset, what was going on in your mind at the time? Is it
Uh,
okay to share? Yeah.
yeah. No issues. So actually, it was a very, of course, it was a shock initially, and but subsequently, the thing was, I just kept telling myself that I'm going to get over this very soon, and
Yeah.
I involved myself with a lot of awareness program in our community because a lot of people did not know what they should do and how they should handle it.
Yeah.
And so I started creating some videos and posting it to my group of people to say that what you should do, what you should not do, what happens if you get infected,
Yeah.
and kind of just kept that channel open.
Yeah.
And within about 10-15 days, I was able to
Hmm.
overcome it. And then I was just thanking my stars and my family for being so supportive. And, that as you rightly said, I would ensure that I would not entertain even one negative thought. I
Yeah.
stopped reading all news. I
Yes,
said, I know
exactly.
my body. I said, I know what is happening inside me, and I'm going to get out of it.
Fantastic. Exactly. Lovely. So
So
glad
I
you
could
overcame it.
very, very, very resonate with some of the points you mentioned in the session today about
Fan-
how reframing helps so much.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Life is all about reframing, guys. All right. Another thing that I just want to share, similar to what Adhika went through, is when my dad passed away. All right. When my dad passed away, relative came, started crying. Oh my goodness, what happened to you? Why this thing happening to your family? Can you imagine all the negative remarks that they give? There tend to be like, a lot of negative people. Oh, what happened? Why he went through this and all that. And that made my mom more depressed with all the negative remarks, negative statements, and all that. So until to the extent I couldn't control it anymore, I just blurted to this particular relative. I said, guys, if you are here to help, please help. But if you are here to destroy my mom's spirit, you feel free to leave. I got no choice. I got no choice to actually make a stand. And I told my mom, I said, look, I don't care what's your viewpoint about me. It's not a popularity contest. I'm not going to get a trophy for being nice and all that. So if they understand the situation, fine, come here to help. So that's what we were actually going into. All right. Okay, guys, fantastic. It was lovely to share with you guys. And these are just very quickly some of the programs that I conduct currently. Just to share with you guys, I don't know why today there's a lot of accountants in the room. Radhika, I'm also a chartered accountant. I did my professional accountancy and all that. And then similar reason went into the world of mindset, NLP, hypnosis and all that. So a lot of programs that I conduct is about mindset, emotional intelligence, building resilience, and transformational leadership, which involves a lot of leadership techniques also, right? Okay, guys, feel free, any question that you guys would like to ask regarding what we covered today, I'll be more than happy try to address those questions. Any questions from the floor, guys? Feel
Any
free.
questions, guys? I've actually copied and pasted the link of Dr. Harjit's LinkedIn profile. So please feel free to connect with him.
Yes. Yeah, just be careful. NLP also stands for another terminology, which is natural language program. But no, the NLP is actually neuro linguistic programming. Yeah,
Sir, I want to say something about this NLP.
sure.
First time I heard in year 2000
Mhm.
this NLP, and after that I took one day course on NLP.
Mhm.
And that time I didn't know what is that. And one day in Hyderabad, the Taj Hotel, they have taken me, and we a group of students and all went and had this.
Okay.
And they one of the in the middle of the program is I think 10 minutes something. They like today what you did, close eyes and do something. Imagine what you want to be in future something.
Mm.
And at that time, and before that, I don't know what I want to be actually. Because of that, at this during that minute, I was thought something I what I want actually.
Right.
And after that, I don't know what I want. Before also, I didn't thought.
Mhm.
I didn't know how it registered, and it's a miracle. Actually, what I thought, actually, it become my career. I don't know. I don't know what is this NLP. How
Mm.
strong is a coincidence or really happened? I don't know.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Sometimes in life, we just needed something or someone to just tune in into our site, and maybe during the particular program, you managed to have access into what your mind really wanted to do. You see, our subconscious mind has got its own thinking to be done. So sometimes when you do certain activities, you have like a peek into, hey, this is what my subconscious mind has been looking for. And that actually drives the inspiration for you to do that. Fantastic. Wonderful, wonderful sharing. Any other question, guys?
Yeah, I do have one question for Dr. Haji, is to get a advice from Dr. Haji. Is when there's friends who always talk to me like when they are in deep depression, they are thinking about why am I here, why am I born in this country, why a lot of why, but
Yeah.
I have no idea how to reframe their mind into a positive a positive mindset. It
Yeah.
is the situation is where they are in the deepest negative mind, and
Exactly.
I have no idea how to reframe for them.
Fantastic. Fantastic. I love this question, guys. Okay, remember the pattern interrupt technique that I shared just now? Now, for this kind of friend, don't waste your time trying to pacify them. Don't try to waste your time trying to advise them. Hey, bro, you got to think positive. Don't do that. But instead, pattern interrupt is, I share with you same scenario that I had. I had a friend who is so negative in everything. He is so negative. When you talk to him, you can be the most positive person. You also become negative. It's as if his virus will jump onto you. All right. So one day, now this was years ago, before I knew anything about pattern interrupt and NLP, nothing. I didn't know any of this. But what I did was, on my mobile phone at that time, I had this picture. Uh, okay, let me share about the technique first. Now, these people need to be taken out from their negative pattern. One way is to take them out is show them another situation which is worse than theirs. Okay, so what I did was, on my mobile phone, I had this picture of a Ethiopian boy. In Ethiopia, the food is scarcity and all that. This Ethiopian guy is standing behind a cow. So I showed him a picture. I said, bro, what do you think about this picture? So he looked at the picture. He said, yeah, I can see a very skinny boy, no food, nothing, famished and all that. I said, yes, exactly. But try to think, what exactly do you see? He's standing behind the cow. So he couldn't register. He said, maybe he's waiting for the cow dung. He used the cow dung for something and all that. I said, no, bro, you know what he's waiting for? He's waiting for the cow to urine, because the cow urine becomes his drinking water. Now, when I told him that, he was taken aback. It's like a shot into his mind that, oh my goodness, you don't have to do much explanation, nothing. So what I did was reflect in his mind that there are much more worse things happening in your life which other people are going through. So that is called pattern interrupt. So it may not happen drastically. So this guy, what happened slowly, he started toning down his negativity. He started appreciating things more. He started complaining less because now at the back of his mind, he know there are worse people than him. So that is called pattern interrupt. So with your friends, what you can do is maybe you can just cook up lah, just cook up. Hopefully they are not in the session also. Huh? You can just cook up a story which is worse than theirs. So that when they hear your story, they'll be thinking in their mind, oh, thank God, I'm in a better position than Boone, man. Yeah, so that's reframing also. It is reframing plus pattern interrupt into one package. Ken, would that be okay, Boone?
Yeah, great. Thank you.
Fantastic.
Doctor, just one more question.
Sure.
You say like when we're thinking of something, a problem, we can rephrase it to be more positive. But sometimes it happens that we'll be overstressed thinking of something, but we are also unsure what we're actually thinking. When someone asks you what is worrying you, and we'll be like, I'm not sure as well. Like so many thoughts will be going on. So how to handle such?
Yeah. I mean, back to what Ms. Radhika shared just now, self-awareness again. If you realize at this moment that you're overthinking it, do one thing. First thing, action plan. Tell yourself that, hey, by worrying, I'm not going to get anything done. I need to do something about it. Secondly, is rephrase those situations. You know, for example, you have seen a lot of motivation stuff and all that. You say, hey, these are not complaints, these are not problems, but rather call it challenges. So transformational vocabulary or transformational communication is just rephrasing things to tone down the negativity so that you look at it on the little bit on the positive side. So I still need to go back to what Radhika mentioned just now, self-awareness again. Once you know that you're overthinking, you tend to interrupt your pattern. Okay. So it's back to those principles again. My favorite verse, my favorite phrase is always like this. Learn from the past, plan for the future, but live in the present. All of us make mistakes. All of us got something, to learn from the past and all that. Learn. Don't dwell too much about the past, right? Don't overthink so much about what's going to happen tomorrow. So learn from the past, plan for the future. In other words, be action oriented, but live in the present. So that's my philosophy of life.
Thank you, Doctor.
My pleasure.
Okay. So thank you so much again, Dr. Harjit. So if you all have any other questions, you could personally chat with Dr. Harjit on LinkedIn. I'm sure he will be more than happy to assist all of you, even myself. I've learned so much throughout this session. Thank you so much again, Dr. Harjit. So over to you, Kanchana.
Thank you, Ms. Drona, for moderating the session throughout the day. And thank you, Dr. Harjit, for such a wonderful session today. And I hope it had really helped everyone and gave a chance to change their way of mind. Before moving on, we would like to hear feedback from all the participants by scanning the QR code that's shown on the screen right now. You can either scan the QR code or go to the link given. The link is also provided in our chat box. I will keep the screen running for 1 more minute in order for everyone to scan the QR code.
Dr. Suresh, can I make an announcement for HiCA student? Dr. Suresh, can I make an announcement?
Yeah, please. Yes, please, sir. Go ahead.
Dear HiCA's Hindustan College students, Coimbatore, after this session, you supposed to join for the CPS1 account for the scientific session. I request all the GIP HiCA students, please join the CPS1 account for joining the scientific session. Thank you.
You are on mute, Kanchana.
Sorry, I hope am I hearable now?
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you, sir. So thank you for joining our webinar series, and in the future we will have more AIMS Biotech Alumni webinar series, and we hope all the participants will join and support us just like today. Thank you very much. Stay safe and stay healthy.
So thank you, everyone. Once again, all of you participating this webinar series, and a special thanks to the speakers for such a wonderful sessions. Everyone enjoyed, and a lot of excellent feedback. Then thanks to Drona, and thanks to the committee members for organizing this event successful. Thank you so much, everyone. And we are going to close this session today. Thank you so much.